This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 551 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is brought to you by EquestrianCollections.com. Hi, Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is from Reese Koffler-Stanfield, international dressage competitor. Reese is a young and upcoming star in dressage here in the U.S. and a popular coach as well. Her students are dressage enthusiasts as well as event riders who are out to improve their dressage score as well as their overall performance. Today's tip, side reins. When, why, and how. But first, a word from our sponsor, EquestrianCollections.com. The equestrian's favorite trinity of fourth quarter shopping opportunities is upon us. Winter weather, winter show circuits, and winter gift giving. No worries. Just surf on over to EquestrianCollections.com. There, you'll find an astounding array of name-brand blankets and outerwear for winter weather, splendid show clothes for winter circuits, and innumerable goodies for gift giving. EquestrianCollections.com, bringing the whole universe of equestrian shopping to your fingertips. Now, enjoy today's tip. And here we are with Reese Koffler-Stanfield, Maple Crest Farm, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer, Trainer Instructor Extraordinaire. It sounds like we've got something in the side reins department on the docket today.
We do. We're going to talk about the proper use and fitting of side reins.
Oh, there's a hot topic.
I know. This is a good one.
Okay, folks, if your ears are burning during this tip, we're talking about you.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and this is I think lunging in general and how to use lunging equipment. I honestly just gave a lesson today on how you should properly lunge a horse. I think it's one of those topics that unfortunately either trainers don't have time or don't make time, or I am not sure. I'm a big lunging advocate, and I also want people in my barn to lunge well, so I am always on their case about it.
You're a little lunging Nazi.
I kind of am, yeah. Because I think people really aren't taught how to do it properly and safely, and lunging can be a wonderful technique.
Yes, it's more than just run the horse around in a circle and get him tired. Now, some folks use it for that, and that's fine.
Right,
But recognize when, okay, I'm going to run around and let him get tired versus don't expect training results if you're running around and getting tired.
Right, exactly. And I would say if you're going to run around and get them tired, let's put some side reins on and let's do some effective training so maybe we can do some transitions and get us to the point where we can ride and work.
Make it productive.
Exactly. And again, use of side reins and lunging are really important techniques for all riders to use. And there are days where it's cold or we're not ready or able to ride because we're in a time crunch or something. And so lunging can be a very, very effective way to work your horse.
If you have one of those horses that's afraid of leaves blowing,
exactly.
It can be very useful.
Yeah, and like today when there were 40-mile-an-hour winds here in Kentucky, some horses did actually have to go to lunge at my barn today. So the proper use of side reins, again, I think side reins are a great tool, just like any other tool that we have in our toolbox. And number one, my biggest thing with side reins is they need to be leather. And they need to have a rubber donut ring on them.
So you're a donut ring gal versus an elastic gal.
Right. I don't personally, I do use elastic side reins when we work horses in hand. I think the function of the side rein is different that way. Again, so I have elastic side reins. But if I'm lunging a horse for connection and teaching them contact, I want the elastic ring on we call it the donut, the rubber donut.
The rubber donuts, yeah.
Because that's going to mimic the rider's elbow. Oh, we hope.
We hope.
We are all doing that.
It's going to mimic a good rider's elbow.
Right, exactly. So that's why I don't like the elastic. I think the elastic on some horses can teach them to kind of pull down and pull against the side.
Use it for a tug toy.
And you know what? I do not like horses pulling on me. So I try not to avoid any kind of encouragement. And so for me, the elastic, I don't like them. I really, really hate nylon, anything with horses. I'm sure somebody's cringing right now.
Yeah,
but
me.
yeah,
Mine are nylon.
Yeah, no. The reason why is I want to make sure, again, there's safety. Always safety issues when you hook up a horse and side reins. And so as long as they have some sort of something that can break, I'm okay with it. But I like leather. I'm kind of old-fashioned about that. Again, length of side reins depends on a lot of things. And when you talk about
This is going to be a gray area. I can
yeah,
tell.
this is a gray area. This is this is where your trainer should kind of either look at you or help or someone that knows. And again, there are great lunging manuals out there.
So for Suzette and Thunder, they're my favorite case study. Suzette and Thunder. Suzette wants to lunge Thunder. Thunder's a reasonably experienced, well-trained horse, but Thunder gets a little naughty when it's breezy, so
Yeah.
she wants to be able to lunge him constructively
Sure.
on some days when it's crisp before she hops up on.
Yeah, great.
What should Suzette, oh my God, don't do that with the side reins.
Well, I think Suzette should, whenever you put it side reins on for the first time, they should be really loose.
Okay, really loose. He can eat grass loose?
No, not eat grass. I mean, he needs to have some kind of contact, but you want to be careful when you first put them on that the horse doesn't hit the side reins and try to flip over or.
So he should be able to, when he's got the side reins on, Thunder's feeling a little fresh. Now, Thunder should be able to hold his head at what we would call a natural level, where he's standing and paying attention to you,
Right.
but he's not being asked to shorten his neck and head in at all.
Exactly.
So that's a starting point
That's
that
a
makes
starting
sense.
point. Yeah, that's a
Okay.
starting point. And if it's your first kind of time lunging him, I would start there. As you get to know your horses and as they're more educated to contact in side reins and contact with the rider, you can tighten them up a little sooner. For example, the horse I lunged today was a 4th level horse, and I was actually doing a lunge lesson with my student to work on lunging technique. We were able to, the horse warmed up in a very relatively long side rein, not super long, kind of he was on hole 7 of, 15, had a half long neck. And then because that's an upper level horse, we were able to shorten the side reins more.
Because he's accustomed and
Exactly.
fit enough to carry himself that way.
Right, exactly. And again, lunging, it is a fitness thing as well.
So you start out with a length that the horse can carry himself in a natural frame, the one he got born with.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
As the horse
some
warms up
structure.
and or is more trained, those can become shorter
Exactly.
to mimic where the rider would tell him to be.
That's what you want to do.
When is it, oh my God, those are too short, I don't care what kind of horse you are?
There's
Where's the red flag
the red
area?
flag? If the horse's nose can touch his chest, red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag. Or if their head is completely twisted one way or the other, red flag.
Okay.
You can keep the inside side rein a hole or two shorter.
And I've heard that. Some people
Yep.
like to keep them a little shorter on the
Right.
inside than the outside.
So
And
they're
that's-
bending.
So they're bending. Is it bad if you don't do that?
No.
Is it
No.
bad to have them both the same?
Actually,
Or is that a personal preference?
I think it's a personal preference or what you're working on with your horse. So let's say your horse is, we want to get horses to both reins in dressage first. So that's how I would always start, is to both reins. Now, if I see that horse, let's say, wanting to look to the outside, that's when I would shorten the inside side rein. So let's say you're going in a circle to the left, and the horse continually wants to look to the right. That's when I would shorten the left side rein.
Say hello.
Yes, I would say, hey, come on, you need to, we're bending on a circle line. We're on a 20-meter circle, and the size of the circle is important. You have to make
You
sure.
don't want a 10-meter bending body on a 20-meter circle.
Right, and that's really hard. That's hard on them physically and mentally. And again, you've got to be careful with side reins. If your horse is really inverted and is not able to work over his neck and his back, 10 minutes is a long time, 10 minutes total.
Right.
Because I want to be changing the direction of the lunging every 5 to 7 minutes.
Oh, you should change it frequently.
Yes.
Got it.
Very frequently. Because if you work for so long in one direction, you're going to have to work equally as long in the other direction.
Uh-huh.
So, for me, I want to warm up in side reins where the horse is even in that natural frame, both sides, both directions. So let's say 5 minutes each way or 3 minutes each way. And then I'm going to switch them again. And that's when I'm going to start using the side reins as a tool for working. And if Thunder's fresh, and Suzette and Thunder, I want Suzette to do some transitions with Thunder.
Because that gets Thunder mentally warmed up as well as physically.
Exactly. And then we know Suzette won't get on in the wind and
get her butt dirty.
Right. Exactly. And I think I will tell people a tip from me is if you ever question if you should be lunging the horse or not, go ahead and lunge him.
If you find yourself asking the question, the answer is yes.
Do it. Don't, because there have been several times where myself or my student, they've asked that question and they haven't done it. So just take it from me.
Just do it.
Just lunge them. It's a safety thing sometimes. And I want, if I'm ever questioning if I should be on a horse, I have them on a lunge line.
Got it. So third aspect of side reins, we've gotten through fitting them appropriately so that you don't do your horses any disservice.
Right.
Using them to help the horse warm up mentally and physically. Mm-hmm. And third, and this is going to be one of those gray area questions, do you connect them at the horse's withers, at the horse's girth, at the horse's elbow? And if all three are the right answer, why would you use different places? Well, there's a good one. That'll take us a half an hour.
I know, that's a really good question, actually, and a very, very valid question. Again, it depends on what you're doing with the horse that day. Let's say if you're just before Suzette rides Thunder, she'll probably have the saddle on. So she will attach the side reins. I like to, there's that tab on the saddle pad. Mm-hmm. I attach them just above that tab.
So that's going to be somewhere in the area of where the rider's knee would be.
Exactly.
Okay.
So as the horse matures in age and I have a surcingle on them, I'm going to decide where to attach the side rein depending on the level of the horse and what I want the lunging to do.
Okay.
So again,
if I'm attaching it up near his withers, what does that ask the horse to do?
Yeah, I never put him that high. Mm-hmm. I would probably, if the surcingle, I go from where the rider's leg would be to where the rider's knee would be. I don't go much higher than that.
Okay.
Because again, I think that encourages the horse to pull downward. And I would maybe use some other lunging technique if I need to move the frame of the horse up. Mm-hmm. There are other lunging techniques. There's the Pessoa lunging system. There are Vienna reins. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of other options.
So you're going to use a different tool altogether to get the frame that short. Because if we're shortening his frame, if Suzette didn't ever know what a horse's frame was, that shortened frame where you're going to use a different tool is where the horse is shortening his body longitudinally from nose to tail.
Yeah.
He's shortening himself up. You're going to need a completely different tool to get to that very short phase. Versus just regular side reins.
Right, I would. I mean, side reins, I really think of side reins as working on the connection of the horse. So, and to educate, to help with transitions, to maybe give the horse's back a rest. If the horse, sometimes horses have some issues with their backs, so lunging can help with that as well.
So you're going to be using that to help him. It's kind of cross-training for your horse.
Exactly.
And your goal being to get the horse comfortable so that he can carry the tension on those side reins the same way he would carry the tension on an accomplished rider's hand.
Exactly. That's what we're doing.
Got it. Well, there you go. Side reins, 101. Awesome. Look, we did that in 11 and a half minutes.
That's pretty good for us.
I'm impressed. Cool. See you next time.
Sounds great. Thanks.
There you go. Reese is always so much fun to chat with. She's a very positive rider as well as coach. To listen to all of Reese's tips, just go to horsetipdaily.com and go to the experts drop-down menu on the left. You can also go to Reese's farm website at maplecrestfarmky.com. You can see what she's up to and also contact her if you would like her to do a presentation or clinic. Please stop by the Horse Tip Daily Facebook page and let us know what you think of the tips you hear on the show. It's also a great place to tell us about topics you'd like to hear us cover. You can subscribe to all of the great shows on the Horse Radio Network through iTunes or Zune and get your horse podcasts automatically downloaded to your iPod, Zune, or MP3 player. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, go ride your horse! The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.